I am going to teach you a hack to get rid of weeds. And when I say get rid of weeds, I mean vanishing them almost overnight using simple, natural ingredients that actually work. If you have been struggling with a garden overrun by weeds, you are probably exhausted. You have likely spent hours on your knees weeding manually, only to watch everything grow back a week later. Or maybe you turned to commercial chemical herbicides like glyphosate, only to realize they disrupt soil biology and kill the very microorganisms your plants need to survive. It is like curing a headache by cutting off your head. But simple home remedies often fail too, because people don't understand the science behind them. Today, we are breaking down two powerful DIY natural weed killers, the precise chemistry of how they work, how to apply them to target specific invasive weeds, and how to fix your soil so weeds never return in the first place. Let's start with our first recipe, the Alkaline Osmotic Shock Formula. This is a highly effective, low-cost mixture that uses a primary household ingredient, plain baking soda. To prepare this formula, you will need 4 simple components. First, 200 grams of baking soda, which is sodium bicarbonate. Second, 1 liter of hot water heated between 60 and 70 degrees Celsius. Third, 1 tablespoon of liquid dish soap. And fourth, 2 tablespoons of regular 10% kitchen vinegar. There is a deep scientific reason for these exact proportions and temperatures. First, let us look at the water temperature. At room temperature, baking soda has a low solubility threshold, meaning only about 96 grams can dissolve in a liter of water. By heating the water to 60 degrees Celsius, you double its solubility. This allows the full 200 grams to dissolve completely into a clear solution, preventing gritty sediment from clogging your spray nozzle. More importantly, applying this mixture while it is still warm physically softens and liquefies the waxy cutin on the weed's leaf surface, creating an immediate entry point for the active ingredients. Now you might think mixing baking soda and vinegar is counterproductive because they neutralize each other. But because 200 grams of baking soda is a massive alkaline base, 2 tablespoons of kitchen vinegar is just a drop in the ocean. It only neutralizes a tiny fraction. This reaction is actually highly beneficial because the sudden release of carbon dioxide bubbles physically creates microabrasions in the leaf's waxy cuticle. Meanwhile, the reaction produces sodium acetate, a highly bioreactive salt that works alongside the remaining baking soda to destroy cell membranes. Once the waxy cuticle is breached, the formula launches a devastating 2-pronged attack. First, the high alkalinity of the bicarbonate ions, which spike the pH to between 8.3 and 9.0, triggers the saponification of the lipids and fatty acids in the leaf cuticle. In simple terms, it dissolves the weed's primary armor. Second, the concentrated sodium and bicarbonate ions left on the leaf surface create an extreme hypertonic gradient. Through osmosis, water is violently sucked out of the plant cells to balance the external salt concentration. This sudden cellular dehydration, known as plasmolysis, causes cell walls to collapse, leading to rapid drying, blackening, and the complete death of the weed foliage. To make this solution stick to the leaves, the dish soap is absolutely critical. Water molecules are highly polar and have high surface tension, which makes them bead up and roll off waxy leaves. The soap acts as a surfactant. By inserting its molecules between water molecules, it lowers the surface tension, spreading the liquid into a flat, continuous film over the entire leaf surface. This ensures the active salts stay in contact with the weed long enough to breach its defenses. Let us look at how to apply this to 3 of the most frustrating weeds. First, the common dandelion. Dandelions are tough because of their deep tap roots filled with carbohydrate reserves. If you only burn the outer leaves, the taproot will just regenerate a new plant. To kill a dandelion, set your sprayer to a targeted stream and spray directly into the meristematic crown at the center of the leafy rosette. This destroys the growth coordinator, where new leaves germinate, severing the connection between the taproot and the sun. Second, ground elder. This weed spreads aggressively through networks of underground rhizomes. A simple spray on the leaves won't stop it. For ground elder, you must spray the foliage and also apply the solution directly to the soil line surrounding the main shoots. The warm solution will penetrate the soil to weaken the delicate nodes where the rhizome branches break through the surface. Repeat this treatment after a week to completely exhaust the underground network. Third, field bindweed. This climbing vine has roots that can run 10 feet deep. To weaken this massive system, time your application to coincide with the early flowering phase. At this specific stage, the plant shifts its vascular transport, actively moving carbohydrates and sap downward toward its root reserves. By spraying the leaves now, the systemic stress of the foliar burn is drawn deep into the root crown. Now let us transition to our second DIY hack, the heavy-duty acid burn formula. This is designed for clearing tough weeds in areas like gravel pathways, stone patios, or driveway cracks. The recipe uses a high-strength 30 to 40% horticultural vinegar available at Home Depot or local hardware stores, mixed with dish soap and common table salt. There is a massive difference between standard 5% kitchen vinegar and 30 to 40% horticultural vinegar. At this high concentration, acetic acid acts as a powerful organic solvent. Because it is lipophilic, it immediately dissolves the protective lipid wax cuticle of the plant on impact. Once inside, it penetrates the cell membranes, completely disrupting the proton gradients that fuel cellular machinery. Lacking membrane control, the cells suffer total electrolyte leakage, resulting in rapid cellular collapse, irreversible wilting, and complete foliar death within hours. However, you must use this formula with extreme caution. The addition of sodium chloride, or table salt, carries severe long-term risks for soil health. Unlike organic acids, sodium ions do not degrade. They accumulate persistently in the soil. When sodium saturates the clay, it displaces calcium and magnesium. This causes clay particles to disperse, destroying the soil structure. The soil collapses into a compacted, impermeable pavement, completely devoid of pore space for air and water. Furthermore, chloride is a potent biological sterilant that kills off the vital soil food web, including essential fungi and bacteria. Because this salt-induced sterility can last for years, you must strictly limit the acid burn formula to non-vegetated pathways like gravel walkways or concrete cracks. Never spray it on garden beds or lawns. The timing of these applications is also key. Baking soda solutions work best when applied in the evening on a dry day. As the air cools, overnight dew keeps the sodium bicarbonate dissolved on the leaf surface, allowing a slow, continuous osmotic pull to dehydrate the cells overnight. High-strength vinegar, on the other hand, relies on heat and intense sunlight. Spraying vinegar at midday accelerates the photooxidation of the plant tissue, essentially cooking the weeds under the hot sun before the acid evaporates. But here is the real secret of premium gardening. Weeds are not enemies to be conquered. They are biological indicators telling us what is physically, chemically, or ecologically out of balance in the soil. Weeds thrive in compacted, degraded, or nutrient-unbalanced soil where preferred plants struggle. For example, common annual weeds like lamb's quarters and pigweed colonize nitrate-rich, unbalanced soils, while purslane thrives on bare soil that suffers from surface baking. The permanent solution to weed pressure is to transition your soil into a state of high aeration, abundant organic matter, and balanced minerals. To configure your soil so weeds naturally weaken and fail to germinate, follow these 4 steps. First, correct your calcium to potassium ratio. Compacted clay soils are often deficient in calcium. Adding gypsum or high-calcium limestone forces tight clay particles to push apart. This process, called flocculation, floods the soil with oxygen. Because the seeds of most persistent weeds are anaerobic, exposing them to an oxygen-rich environment causes them to decompose before they can ever germinate. Second, address compaction. Compaction invites weeds with deep taproots, which nature uses to drill holes to restore air and water flow. You can bypass the need for these weeds by aerating the soil and applying a soil drench of Jada microbial solution combined with humic acid. This inoculates the soil with beneficial biology that exudes organic glues, binding silt and clay into stable crumbs to maintain aeration. Third, shift away from synthetic nitrate fertilizers. High-salt nitrogen fertilizers flood the soil with free nitrates, triggering weed germination. Replace them with biological nitrogen sources like amino-rich liquid fish hydrolysate or legume cover crops. This allows your crops to take up nitrogen as amino acids, denying weeds the nitrate signals they need to wake up. Fourth, maintain year-round biological root cover. Bare soil is an ecological wound. Nature will always heal it with fast-growing weeds to protect the microbiome from UV damage. Keep a living root in the ground by planting diverse cover crops like clover or applying the thick layer of high-carbon mulch like wood chips or straw. By understanding the chemistry of these DIY formulas and working to heal your soil, you can stop fighting weeds and start cultivating a thriving, self-sustaining garden. If this scientific breakdown helped you, please hit the subscribe button and the bell so you never miss our weekly guides. Let us work together to regenerate our soil, one garden at a time.